Well, hello there. Today what I'm going to be showing you how to do in Unreal Engine is I'm going to show you how to make a zombie swarm. Okay, so with that said, let's go and get into it. If you want to see the end result, go and skip to the end of the video and then come back to find the tutorial. Okay, so let's go ahead and first thing is we need to create a character for our zombie. So we're going to go to Blueprint, Create, Character. Okay, we're going to call this BP Zombie. Okay. Now in here what we're going to do is we're going to go to the mesh and we're going to make this a ASK mannequin. I've got several in here. Just use the one you want to use that you have. Okay, and I believe it is one of these. This one right here, this animation blueprint. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate him -90 degrees so he's facing forward. Okay, so now that we have that, that's all we need to do for right now in here. So let's go ahead and create our AI controller. And this will tell our AI how to run behaviors. Okay, so we're going to call this AI controller in the all classes. Alright, we're going to do AI controller. We're going to name this AIC for AI controller. And we're going to call this zombie. AIC zombie. Alright. So let's go here, go into AIC zombie, and on begin play, let's type in run behavior tree because we're going to make a behavior tree here real quick. Now we're going to leave this empty for now. Okay. So with that said, we got our character. We've got our AIC zombie. Next thing we need is a spawner for them. Okay. So we're going to right click, new blueprint class actor. All right. We're going to call this BP zombie spawner. All right. So now that we have that, what we want to do is on begin play. You can also put this on a timer or delegate or however you want to do it. I'm just going to do it on begin play, so whenever we play the game, they'll spawn. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to do a for loop, not a for each loop, a for loop. This will let us run multiple code in one node. Okay, code multiple times. I'm going to spawn 15 zombies or 16 zombies. Now remember, first index is 0, that means 1. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're on the loop body. We're going to spawn actor from class. And now what this loop body does is it lets us run this multiple times, okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and split the transform and let's get actor location. Alright, this is the actor location of the spawner itself. And then what we're going to do is we're going to plus this to get the height of the character so they're not stuck in the ground when they spawn. And that's going to be 96. Alright, and we can find that by going to the zombie, going to the capsule component, and we can see it's 88. I'm going to put it at 96 just so it doesn't have any chance of getting stuck in the ground, but that's what you want to put it at. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to get our zombie, and we named him BP Zombie. Okay, we're going to put that there, and we're going to leave the collision handling as default. However, if you're having issues with spawning, you could put it to try to adjust location, but always spawn. Okay, so we're going to spawn 16 zombies at the location of the spawner. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get into behavior trees. Now this isn't too complex. If you haven't used them before, I'm going to go over the gist of how they work. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to artificial intelligence. We're going to do behavior tree. We're going to name this BT Zombie Horde. Zombie Horde. There we go. And now the second thing we need to do is we need to create a blackboard. Think of this like a storage for variables that you can use on a behavior tree. All right, so we're gonna call this baby zombie horde. All right. We're gonna make our blackboard value BP zombie horde, and you can get to that by clicking on the root, and it'll be up here in the details. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, if you click the blackboard up here, it's automatically tied to the behavior tree. We're going to get the character. We're going to get a vector here. We're going to do character's location is what we're going to name it. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to make a couple logic flows about how to find the character's location and then tell the AI to move to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a sequence. Alright, we're going to get a sequence here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do new task up here at the top. It's going to create this window. If you're in Unreal Engine 4, it'll have a drop down. Just type in, just get the BT task blueprint base new. Alright. So let's go ahead and call this find character. Alright. And first thing we want to do is we want to go to event receive execute AI. Now, if you're not too familiar with where these are, think of these like little tick events. All right, they run code on a certain interval, and then what they do is they will run it in a sequence, so 1 to 2. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and get a new variable. We're going to call this characters location. All right. We're going to make this a blackboard key selector. I'm going to put a little space in there. All right, all right, all right. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get the player character. All right. This is a generic way of getting the player character. So it doesn't get all its variables and everything, but it'll get things like its location. All right, so we're going to go and get its actor location. All right. And then what we're going to do is we are going to set blackboard value as vector. Okay, so we're going to connect this up. We're going to type in finish execute. We're going to check the success, and this will tell the behavior tree task to finish. All right. But first we need to set the character's location into the key. Alright, alright. So let's go ahead and make this public right here. Make sure you set this to public. That's very important. Alright, so now that we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to type in find character. Remember, if you don't have this, you go back a few steps and make this behavior. Alright, so now that we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to make this self actor character's location. This will be over in the details under default. Alright. Remember that character's location? That's this vector right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pass this to a move to behavior. So normally Unreal has a move to. However, that moves to the location and then moves to the next one. But it gets stuck there sometimes, especially if you move off it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new task. All right, we're going to call this move to character. All right. So we're going to do the same thing as before, event receive execute AI. All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to simple move to location. We're going to get the controller, okay? And then we're going to make a variable. We're going to call this character's location. We're going to make this a blackboard key selector. All right. Blackboard key selector. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this out. We're going to get value has vector. Get blackboard value has vector. Okay? And now we're going to go to goal. Now blackboard values can be anything. Okay? That's why we set it in the find character. We set it as a vector. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do move to character. All right? And we're going to save this. And we need to make it public in the move to character. We also need to set up a finish execute. Alright. Alright, alright. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set the character's location. So it is going to take the vector of the player character, and then it's going to pass that to the move to character via this blackboard variable here. Okay, so now that we have that, what we can do is we can go back to our characters and we can place BP zombie spawner in the level. Just place a couple here. We're going to spawn like 100 AI of these guys. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to play. Now they're not running the logic because we forgot to do something here. We forgot to go to the AI controller zombie. We forgot to put BP zombie horde on there. Now as we click play, it should work, but it's not. So I think I know what's going on here. So I believe if we go to the BP zombie, this is it. We need to set the AI controller to AIC zombie, and then we need to change it to placed in world or spawned. Okay, so now that we have that, they will follow us, and they will follow us around the map. That is basically how you make a zombie horde. You can set it up with box colliders and timers and other cool stuff. That's basically how you make it. If you like this video, hit the subscribe, hit the like button. Thank you very much. Have a great one.